All right, fashion dolls, and we're back, we're back, we're back. So I'm going to send this back to Eric so that we continue on with this interview and we can get it done. Please let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, fashion dolls, let me add Eric back. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Let me know. Right off. I don't need it anywhere. It's okay. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Fashion dolls, are we good? Give me a thumbs up if we are, so that we can continue on with the interview. This is such a great conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with actor Eric Makowski. Can you guys hear me? Or is it a sound overlap? Because I've got in the previous broadcast that it was all right, perfect. All right, thank you, Liz. And by the way, make sure you guys please go and follow Liz Music. She's absolutely beautiful, extremely talented, and she's one of my major supporters here at the Dollhouse. So shout outs to her. She'll let me know if something goes on. So we're all about networking here. So we're going to continue on, ladies and gentlemen, talking about that feeling when you're on set, when you know that it's real. And some people, even for me, when I come on and I do interviews with people like yourself, I'm honored to have you here. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I'm sitting right in front of him. And I've seen some of your highlight reels, seen some of your previous interviews, and seen some of your work, and I'm just honored to have you here. So even for me, it doesn't seem real. Like I even had to pinch myself before I came live, like, wow, is this a dream? I can't believe I'm sitting right across from him now. So even for me, I get nervous as well too before doing an interview. And you guys might think, oh well, she's fearless. No, I get scared too. And a lot of people might get that from my personality because I'm a Scorpio. My mom is a Libra, and we know how Scorpio and Libra women are. We just adventurous. We're wild. We not like that. We like to do things where it's shocking and it's fun involved. And for me, I try to live my life on the edge just a little bit, unapologetically. And I make no bits about it. But I do get scared and I do get nervous. So yes, Miss Stevie is not the fearless woman that you guys see sometimes. I get scared, and yes, I'm 28 and I'm still scared of the dark. So I admit it. So yes, there
Um,
you have it.
you
This is
know,
true confessions
that's
here.
really not
So
something that I want to
my
branch out
next question for
into.
you is,
I would just like
for
to
your
stay
legacy,
behind the
what do you
camera,
want to be
or I mean, in
remembered
front
for
of the
your
camera.
legacy? Because like
And
I mentioned
I
in the
like
beginning
to be on
previously, before
screen.
you
So
had to restart some
working
of your work,
working on the other
what
thing I
type of
don't
work
want to
do you want
branch
to be
out
remembered
to.
for the
What
most? Like,
would be
what would be your goal
my
acting wise? What would
legacy?
be your dream
Um,
acting gig? Like, who or what
this
do
is
you see
not
yourself
related
like
to
producing
acting, and
behind the
yes,
scenes
I
as well
do want to
too?
be an actor, but my legacy, I want to be known as the best father
Mm.
because I take pride in being the best father that I can be, and I will always say I will never be half the man that my dad was to me. I can only try, and I'm giving everything I can to provide my son with everything that he needs, most of what he wants. But as far as my legacy in acting, I would just like to be an actor that people can think of as puts them in an emotional situation and makes them really believable, feel like they're in that situation, and whether depending on my role that I'm playing, I want them to feel touched by every one of my statements or whatever. Well, I know you have another guest and you're in a time crunch, but real quick I'm gonna
And our next special
go
guest
through
is
the whole
already here,
fear
ladies
thing
and
with you
gentlemen.
and how
Jamari
why I
Taylor.
love
That's
life so
4:30.
much.
So,
In
Jamari, you can hang around and then I'll add
1996,
you
I was in a
on
bad car
after I'm
accident.
through with
I
Eric.
was in a
So, y'all
coma for three
multitasking here
months.
today. Uh,
Broken
I
everything
love
on
what
my
Liz
left
just
side.
typed, Eric, and that
Doctors
was,
told my
it's a very
parents I
powerful
had
question
no
she just
chance at
asked. And she said, has
survival,
fear
and if I
contributed
did, I'd be
to your
lucky to work at
success?
McDonald's. I went on to graduate college. I went on to have a child. I went on to have custody of a child. I went on to become an actor and fulfill my dreams. So I proved all of them wrong. Um, am I scared of much? There's not much that I am scared of because I know that God has his hands wrapped around me, and I know that as long as I stay true to him, I'm good.
Powerful testimony. Powerful testimony. And I would have never known that about you. Everybody's story is completely different. I'm not sure what Jamari, our next guest, his story is going to be, but I'll find out in the next hour. But everybody's testimony, for you to come on my platform and share that, because I interviewed a power lifter by the name of Diesel Ramos. He's done work with Marvel. You guys are familiar with Marvel, Spider-Man, all of the, superheroes and things. He's done work with them. And he got an injury as well, too. Not only that, but he was a power lifter. So he told us his testimony about how he injured himself and how he kept the perseverance to keep going. So from Eric and Diesel's story, because you guys are pretty big guys, pretty big buff guys. So just from this, from the standpoint of you guys getting into these accidents and coming on and telling your story, your testimony, that can be a testimony to somebody else that has injured themselves or, has faced some sort of obstacle that has blocked them from going from and stopped them from doing what they need to do. Never let fear stop you from conquering whatever your passion or desire is. For me, I when I first started this platform, I was kind of cocky. I'm not going to lie. I started off very young. I was a young girl. I started off in my teenage years. And now
I'm
for me to
sorry?
see 28 years of life, now about to head into my 30s, it's a completely different ball game. Like when you hit
What
30, as you get into
superhero?
your adult years, that light bulb goes off.
Um,
And it's just like, wow, this is really real. Like, this is really real.
I don't
Oh,
know. He's
all
not
right.
really
Great question,
into
Liz. We got
that
another
stuff.
question for you, Eric.
He's a
Is what
typical
superhero has your son
now
seen
teenage
in
boy
your life?
who unfortunately would prefer sitting on his
Liz
bed
wants to
playing
know,
his
and this is a
video
great
games
question she just
all
asked.
day
What
long.
superhero has your son
And
seen in your life?
he's not really into too much else. I've tried to get
Mm-hmm.
him into sports. That's just not his cup of tea. He he his mother just bought him a computer. His dream is to be a content creator because he loves all this computer technology stuff, and he's very brilliant at it. Um, so that's his goal in life. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question, Liz. But basically, he hasn't shown interest in any superhero per se. you know, I think it pushes me to keep going every day with him because I know the kind of relationship me and my father had, and I know
And
how
that's
I
excellent.
felt as a
Oh, let me
child
rephrase the
having
question.
a
She wants to
father
know
of
what
that
superhero
caliber,
has your
and
son been in
there's
your life?
nothing
Like, what
more I
type of
could want
superhero
than for
that
my son to
has
have that
inspired you to
same
keep
exact
going?
feeling about
How would
me.
you describe, basically, compare and contrast your son to what
and
superhero?
and that's what pushes me every day. And I try to get him out to show him as much of the world as possible, just because the world is so big, and I preach so many things to my son. The main thing is that you can do anything you want in this life if you work hard enough. And I've told him since he was 5 years old. I told him
Oh,
I wanted to be an actor. Whether he chalked that up with a grain of salt, I don't know. But I told him this time when he told me to get back into it, I said I will make it happen, and I'm showing him that I am going to make it happen.
don't be surprised if you see him sitting next to Steven Spielberg or one of these other big directors out here, because you said content creator. So, content creators, for us, the bloggers, the journalists, whomever that do the behind the scenes work, it's a lot that goes into that. So, like I said, don't be surprised if he says, "Okay, Dad, I want to go and I want to get into film production. I want to get into directing." It's a lot, and you're never too young or too old to learn what it takes to be a content creator, what it takes to be an actor. Most people start off very young. Like for me, when I started off this platform, I just graduated out of high school. I was 19, young
Let me give a
woman,
quick
didn't
shout
know what
out
she was
to
doing. Like I
I
said, I was
told you
very
about my
cocky, very
accident,
arrogant. And I went back
and
and I
I've always
watched
wanted to
some
help
of my
other people
episodes from when I
through
first
that,
started, and
and
it's
I
just like, wow,
believe
you've
that
changed
many
a lot.
people can
So
be
you take
touched,
that
and I've
life
tried to
lesson
get
of
that
what
story
you
out
learned from
there.
your
But
childhood
now I'm
into
working
your
with
adulthood. It's just
Diana.
like, wow,
Diana, I'm
as you get into
sorry, I
your
forget your
adulthood,
last name.
it's real.
It
It's
starts
really
with a
real.
K. I don't know. She is an author. I'm working with
So
her
it
as
is
far as writing a
4:28.
book.
I wish we could keep
We're
going,
trying
but
to
I'm
get this
sorry, you were
book
saying something?
out there, and my ultimate dream is to get this story on the big screen, because I think my story is just amazing, and I was blessed by the hands of God to be here. So, you know, offhand, I can't think of any actor. Just as I do, I'd have to go through the audition process, and because I think I'm the
You are a
only
walking
one who
testimony. And
knows
I was
who
going
I
to ask you
was
that in the beginning of the
at,
interview, but we're
at the time.
short,
Well, I have
quick,
about
short
two
on
years of
time crunch.
memory that I
Who
forgot,
were
and
you
I'm
going to
never going
get
to
to
remember.
portray? I asked you
But
about your
other than
legacy,
that,
and you know where I kind of was
I
going
pretty
with
much
that.
knew what I was
Who would
like.
portray
So,
you in a bio about your life? What actor comes to mind?
have faith in yourself and never sell yourself short, because you can do anything you want if you work hard enough. And if you're not achieving whatever you want at a certain time, that just means you're not working hard enough. You have to
All
give it
right.
everything you
All
have,
right,
and
fashion
just
dolls.
remember we're
It
here
is
for a good time,
4:30,
not a
so
long
I'm gonna
time.
let Eric close it
So
out with
make
some
it happen.
encouraging words. What advice would you give to people that are looking to get into acting?
All right. Anytime I'm free to come back anytime you'd like. I would love to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Makowski. Let's see if Jamari is here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to add Jamari. We're doing
Sounds
2
great.
interviews and
Have
one
a great
show,
day.
so you guys will get both. And I would love to have you back again and extend the time this time, because I love talking with you. Your conversation and your testimony is powerful, and it can help the next person and the next person. Yes, you're welcome back to the dollhouse anytime. And I'll talk with you after I'm through with Jamari so that we can reset up something again, because I wish we could. Definitely. You too, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Makowski. So I'm going to add our next guest, Jamari. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. Hello, TGI. Wait a minute. He's adjusting the camera. All right, you got to make sure that angle right. Welcome. Welcome to the dollhouse, Jamari. I'm doing lovely. Yourself? Yes, I can see you, ladies and gentlemen. Jamari Taylor, can y'all see him?
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. This interview has been long overdue. We've been talking. We kind of had a schedule mixed up the other day. We were supposed to do it originally yesterday, but we had a mix up. Something came about. So definitely. So before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? Because I just asked Eric the same question. It's been difficult for a lot of actors, content creators, and things. How have you been managing with everything, this pandemic and everything going on?
As it should be. Mm-hmm. Uh, it's not really difficult for me because I live here by myself already.
Yes.
So,
And with you being
I'm
an actor,
from
my question for
Charlotte,
you
North
is, with
Carolina,
you
but I
being an
moved to
actor,
Atlanta
because I know a lot of
by
actors have
myself.
kind of had
So
that,
I've already experienced it
how can I say it?
firsthand. So it really, like when I go on set and stuff, it
Been
ain't
kind
really
of
as hard
down
for me
because they've been
to get
separated
like
away from their
to
families,
feel like that. It doesn't
separation
really make me
anxiety,
feel no kind of way
separated away from their families.
because I've
How
already
have
been
you been
away
managing with
I've
that?
already
Because I
been
know
away
it's
from them
difficult
all
being away from your
for about
family
a
while
year
you're
and
on
some change
set
now.
and
So
doing
I go
things.
home and see them from time to time, but I'm on business right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Mama wasn't messing with it for real. Not she wasn't really. Not she wasn't messing with it, but she just didn't.
Okay.
She didn't like the plan that I had came up with at the time. If that makes sense. So she wasn't really on board with what I wanted to do at the moment. But she came around
That's
and
right. Got to
she's on
keep
board now.
grinding.
But
So
it
what?
was
And
just
I asked a
the
lot of
way I
actors this
wanted to go
question too.
about it
What
and the
did
way I
Mama
went
say
about it
when you
was
told her
different.
you wanted to get into acting?
Nah, it was
Tell
too
us how
risky.
your journey for
You know
acting
how moms
began.
are, so want they don't really want to see like anything happen not good. So she was more so worried about that kind of thing than just remembering like it could go good. Type. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. I know how moms are. When I told my mom I wanted to start this platform, because moms and dads, their parents, they're
Yeah.
concerned. They're just like, What are you
Yeah,
going to
she's
do after you
she's very
graduate
proud
high school?
now.
What is going
You
to be your
know,
sole plan? And if this
it was
doesn't work,
it was
then what's
you
going
know
to be
it
the
was more
next
of the
step? A
unknown
lot
at the
of
beginning because
parents, you
no
know,
one from where I'm
especially for
from
us growing up in the black household, they
from
want to
my
know,
family
like,
has
we
even
don't want you out here
done this
doing
right
what
here.
they're
So
doing. We
it
want to
was
see
just the
what
fact
you're
that
going to do. What's going to be your
it was
story?
just
What's going to
something
be
new
your
and
testimony? What are
unfamiliar,
you
and
going to
she was
do?
just like, "Nah, I
And
don't think you
to
should do
see
that."
where you're at
And I'm like,
now,
"Nah, I'm doing it."
as you
So
telling me your story,
I just went with my
I
moves
already
and
know
did it
she's
on my
proud of you,
own. And
and
I
I
told
already
them,
know it.
"Give me a year and I'll show y'all what it's gonna be." And then that's what happened. And now they're believing in what I've got going on. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. I feel like fear can really
I don't
like
know if she's still
drive
here,
you.
but Liz, when
It can
I was
drive
just
you in
speaking
the
to
right
Eric about this,
direction
we
in
kind of
certain
talked about
situations
this
to
before
where
you
like,
came in at
you
the
know,
end part of this
if you
interview. We
fear,
talked
if you
about
have the
doing
fear of like
things
not
out of
being great at
fear.
what you do,
Um, Let me
or you
scroll
had a
back up
fear
to
of
that
wasting your
question that
potential
Liz
or wasting
asked
time,
Eric.
or the fear
Uh,
of being
it was, can
broke
fear
or
contribute
struggling
to
forever,
success?
things
What are
like
your
that.
thoughts
It
on
gives
that? Do
you a
you
different
feel as
kind of
though
gear to
fear can
get up
contribute to
and be
your
like, okay, I
success?
know what I used to what I come from, and I don't want to go back to that anymore. So, not really much fear. It's a little bit of fear, but it's more of like, I want this bad type. So that's why I say like fear can play a good part, but it can also play a bad part. You can't let fear have too much percent in the motivation process. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And for me, it lights a fire under me. Like I've had people all my life try to doubt me and say, "Oh well, you can't do this." And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have had that same situation where it's just like you're trying to go for something that you're passionate about doing,
Yeah, I
and then your
definitely agree
family
with
or
that. I
whoever, they
believe in
just
that
kind of
also,
doubt you,
and
like,
I
no,
say
we
my
don't think
affirmations every
so,
day. I
and you
manifest
kind of
everything that
doubt
I have
them and you
now.
prove them
I
wrong,
manifested
and
it,
then they
and
see the
I'm
success,
still
they
going.
see
I
all
made
of
new
these
goals.
things
I made
start coming
new
your way. That's because you believe in the
dreams
power of
and
manifestation. For
manifestations, and
me, I believe in
I constantly
manifestation.
work
Whatever
towards those
you
and
put out there in
put those
that
into the air and the
universe, you're
atmosphere,
going
and
to attract. So if you
work
attract,
hard and
put
wait
out
for
good
my
energy,
time to
you're going
come
to
until they
attract
come to
it,
life.
and all of that is going
That's
to
what it's
come
all
and
about,
light
really.
too. So I believe in it. I believe in the power of five. So it's definitely coming.
Hmm. Yeah.
I love that you said goals because the first thing that popped up in my mind was I'm looking at my vision board over there. I create vision boards. So whatever I want to put, there's something that I want to accomplish because I created mine's back in 2020, around the end of 2021, heading into the new year. I said, okay, this is what I want to work on. This is what I hope to accomplish. This is what I hope to strive for in going into the new year. And everything on that vision board, one thing has been challenging, and that is trying to get, you know, at a bigger point for this platform. And so far, it's been very, very good. At first, I was just kind of like skeptical at first, and we kind of doubt ourselves. We're just like, should I really do this, or should I just kind of just sit back and just observe? For me, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna go for it. So today's show
Hmm.
was all about overcoming your fear, or That's the key thing. And I hope a lot of people are taking something from this, because whether it's a job promotion or an acting gig or whatever you're going for in life, you're going to kind of be on the edge of fear just a little bit, but you kind of got to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you're not used to doing. Even for me, you know, I do some acting as well too. And for me, I've never had any acting experience, but I think Alex Jonte for that. It was a horror film that I did called The Assistant 2. And it was a little bit out of my element because the character that he wanted me to portray was a college professor. And I'm thinking back to my childhood, because we know we used to pretend like we was the teacher or the doctor and different things like that. And me, I had a whole class and I was lining up my little teddy bears and stuff, like I'm teaching a class and things. So I had to take myself back into that childhood space and be like, okay, but this is a college professor. So for this role, it was a little bit different. And when I did the table read, I went in and I nailed it. No acting experience at all. So that came from me doing things out of fear and kind of doubting myself. Like at first I'm like, I'm no actress. Like, why did you even cast me in the first place? I'm being completely honest, because at first I was happy when I got the role. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm no actress. Like, out of all people, why would you cast me? And he said, I casted you for a reason. There's a reason why I casted you. And it's because of your attitude, your personality. And sometimes directors and the producers that are owning the projects, they will cast people according to their personality. They'd be like, okay, what kind of, and then you have full free range to put whatever input to the character that you want to, how you want the character to look, full creative control or whatever, but you still have to follow the productions and the producer and the director's orders. So for this one, I didn't have full creative range. But here's the catch. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Y'all see I have my goddess locks today. For this character, he wanted me to have short hair. And at the time, I had at least 30 inches of long, curly hair. I had the little Beyonce swoop and stuff going on. So when he said, I want you to cut your hair, I said, what? But he said, this is why I want you to do it. Because I don't want you to look like the students. I want you to look like a distinguished college professor. And for this character, she really went there. Like, it was a little bit out of my element, and I've never done acting before. So this is where I'm going with this. Doing things out of fear. And as Jamari just mentioned in the beginning of the interview, it's sometimes doing things out of fear can be good. Some things can be bad. It's all about your choice. In a way, it's like playing Russian roulette or catch-22. So what side are you going to choose?
I have dreams and goals.
And I choose the side of doing the right thing. I choose the side of following my gut intuition and my gut instinct. So I hope you guys are learning from this as well too. I'm not going to preach too much because I don't want to get too caught up. But for you, what passions and aspiration keeps you going?
Be the best at it, and I don't like to lose, and I'm very competitive, and I'm very like a perfectionist. And for me, it's the craft. So when I get in the zone, it's where I'm like, okay, I want to really nail this right here. It's more so like anything else around me doesn't really matter. And so that's where like it's that feeling that I can't really describe it, but it's more so like a feeling like when you was a kid on Christmas and you get that feeling like you're so happy, and it just makes me happy.
Trey, was that for me? Are you telling me I'm an interview guru, Trey? Or welcome if you're just coming in. Welcome to the Dollhouse. We're here with Jamari Taylor. We just got through interviewing Eric Makowski. Right now we're talking about passions, and today's theme of Style by Stevie is doing things out of fear. Have you ever felt yourself stepping out
Yes.
of your comfort zone,
Yes.
doing something
Yes,
that
I
is a
have.
little bit
I
out of
haven't
your
had many, but I've
element?
had a few to
And
where I'm
for
like,
me, I
you
have.
know,
You know, I've had to make career
is this,
moves.
I
I've
look
had
at
to
the
do
bigger
things
picture,
that I
not just
wasn't
not right
comfortable
now.
with
And I don't
doing.
like,
And
all work
I'm pretty
isn't good
happy to
work
be
and
where
all
I'm at
money
right now. I don't
isn't good
regret it at
money.
all.
So,
So my
you know,
question for
so
you is, have you
that's
ever
where it
had a
comes into play.
situation
Like
where
I
it's
make
just like
decisions
in
off
your
of
acting career, where it's
not
just
just
like,
not
okay, I
how
need
I
to do
feel in
this
that
career
moment.
move.
You know, I
It might not
decline
be the best
roles
one,
I
but this
don't
is what
feel
I got to do
comfortable
for
with
me.
or I don't feel like I resonate with. And I've had some management team that I have, you know, let go of because I feel like they're not valuing me as the artist and they're not doing their best foot forward to you know, make the team successful. It's a team thing. It's not just me, it's not just them. You know, we work together as a team and we need 100 on my side, 100 on their side. And that's the only way we can win together. You know what I'm saying? So that's I've had to make a few hard decisions, but I don't regret anything that I've made or I've done. So yeah.
Bullseye. My brother Scott Valentine, who also was in the
Yeah.
project with me, and yes, I
Yeah.
did interview Trey's cousin Ron Royster. How is Ron, Trey, and how have you been doing? I haven't seen you in a minute. Trey is also a producer, director, so definitely please go and follow him. It's a bunch of actors and actresses in the audience, so network amongst yourself. But the
That's
point that I'm trying to make here, Scott said something, and he was telling one of my colleagues, Dante, this. Uh,
that is
he
very
told
true.
him, go where
Very
you
true.
are
And
celebrated,
I really
not
live by
tolerated.
that right there. I live
So
by that,
if
and
they're
I
not
live
willing to
by, you know,
accommodate your needs, if they're not
genuine
willing to give you what your
genuine
passions or your heart's
relationships
desire
and
is, go on to
communication
the next
to
place.
where we
Move
both on the
away
same
from that
page, we have an
obstacle. There's going to be
understanding, and
people out
also
here that are
just,
going to try to block your
you know,
blessings or
trust.
hinder
You
them
know, trust
because
is a
they
big
don't want to
thing
see you
too.
succeed. They don't
I
want to
want to
see
be
you
able to trust
successful.
you, and I want you
They
to be
don't
able to
want to
trust
even
me.
give you
So
the time
I
of
feel
day.
like you have to have
You
all
got to
those
make
things
that
to be the
move and
most
do what is
successful
right for you at the end of the day.
in this industry, and also really in just life. So I try to, you know, instill that in myself every day. Like just because it's a good opportunity now doesn't mean it's going to be good forever, you know, or it's going to last, or it's good for the future. So I just keep that in mind and I try to move with that.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. All right, fashion dolls, you guys know what
Five
time it
things that
is.
I
It is
can't live
time for
without.
our
That could be
games, and then
anything.
we are going to take
Anything.
some questions from
Oh,
the
okay. Let's see.
audience. All right,
Five things
fashion
that I
dolls, the
can't live
first
without.
game
I
is
can't
called the Rapid
live
Five,
without.
and Jamari has to tell us five things
That's
that he
pretty hard.
can't
I
live
never really.
without. And then the next one is going to be
Uh,
called his thoughts. And I'm going to drop a
I
name of an
go
actor, and you
chapstick.
tell me
I
the
got
first
chapstick. I
thing that
can't live
comes
without
to
my
your mind
chapstick.
about this actor, the first word.
Uh,
All right, so we're going to start off
let's
with
see.
the Rapid
Chapstick.
Five. So, what are five things that Jamari
My
can't live
family.
without?
My family. I can't really. I need my family. You know what I'm saying? Family, friends. I put all of them into that category. Family, friends. I consider them family. You know. Well, that's two right there. Let's see what else. I can't live without my Adidas pants. I love Adidas pants. I don't like jeans. I like joggers, things of that sort. Uh, what else? I need two more. Uh, I can't live without my cologne. My cologne gotta, you know, it gotta smell good when I'm going on the set, everywhere I
Mm.
go, class, things of that nature. Let's see. My fifth one, uh, hmm, that's kind of hard right
Yep.
there. I don't know. Let me see what can I live without? My car. I can't live without my car. Yeah, I need that. Oh yeah, yeah. He's getting on my nerves. I probably can't live without him. Yeah, he aggravating though, but yeah, he a part of the family though, so he in there with that family.
All right. The basic essentials. All right, that is his top five, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for his thoughts. So I'm gonna drop a name of Oh Now Ma says your dog. That yeah,
Yeah,
that could have been one.
yeah.
Oh, man's best friend. Yes, and dogs, they make great
Atlanta.
companions. Like I know we have a Yorkie poo. My brother's Yorkie poo. She's down here. Her name is Coco, and I brought her on the show, and she's been a blessing. So whenever you feeling
Uh,
down, whenever you feeling
I gotta
depressed,
give him
that
more
they'll be
content for the
right there
pet.
laying by your
That
side. So great
that was
companions.
that for me. That was
Um,
like
it is time
superheroes.
for
You know, I like
his thoughts,
superheroes, so
ladies and gentlemen. So
those
I'm
are what I
going
like
to
the most.
drop a
Yes,
name of a
man.
famous actor, and you tell me the first word that comes to mind about these actors. So I'm going to start
Oh,
off with
baby
Donald
boy.
Glover.
You know what I'm saying? Baby boy. You know that's a legendary movie.
All right. Okay. Next one would have to be the late Chadwick Boseman.
Uh, uh, The Craft. You know he has so many movies roles. He's very great at what he does. He's
All
very
right. For the ladies'
strategic in
side,
how
we've
he
got Taraji P.
approaches the
Henson.
roles and what he chooses to play. So yeah, The Craft.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Number,
greatness.
well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
number
saying?
four,
That's
we
what
have
comes to
Denzel
mind.
Washington.
You know, greatness, accountability, hard work, dedication. That's what comes to mind. All that. When it comes to me, I feel like that's all I got, and I put everything I have into what I want to do.
And last but certainly not least, we have Jamari M. Taylor.
Thank you, thank you. Um, I definitely see myself directing later on down the line. I want to direct my own kind
And
of
we see
film
it through your
about
work. You
myself,
have a project
like
coming out,
a
so
movie about
I'm
my
not going
life.
to get too
So I
deep into
definitely
that. So
see that coming, but I
congratulations
want to
on
be in
that.
the movie as
So
well, kind of
we're
like
going to
50
take some
Cent,
questions from the
Tyler
audience,
Perry.
ladies and gentlemen. But
But I
my next
also see
question for
me,
you is, where
I
does
see me
Jamar see
breaking through the
himself in
industry,
the
like
future
taking
in the
over
next few
Atlanta,
years? Like, do you see yourself
working my
stepping
way
behind the
to the
lens
West Coast,
and
California, LA.
directing and
You know,
producing?
having multiple projects, being on multiple different networks and television shows, and also films. So also giving back to my community, my family, and people that that don't know what they're doing, like trying to come up into the industry, like, and also like the less fortunate. I want to give back to them as well. So I see myself being very highly successful in the next couple years, like very breaking that barrier down to where like boom, I'm in there and I'm one of those people, like who I am. I've stamped my name, my face, and my work will speak for itself. That's my whole goal. I don't want to let the fame and all that speak for me. I want for when they know me, they be like, yeah, he good. Like he's a good actor. Like he has great work. I want people to know my talent level more than anything else. I want to showcase my
There you
skills.
go.
I want to be remembered by my talent. Yeah. Like as like a kid, like you know what I'm saying, like a kid, or like as the. I honestly don't know the answer to that question because I haven't dug too deep into it, but it would
And I
probably
just talked
have to
to
be
Eric about
someone
that, and
that
he was talking about his. I asked him about his
kind of had
legacy
the
in the
same
beginning of the
life
interview.
experience as me.
Um,
You know,
who
it
will
don't have to
portray
be
you in a
100%.
bio about
It
your
don't
life?
even
Because
got
he
to
said
be
he
80,
had to
but
do a
it got to be at
casting and
least
audition.
50%
What
or
actor would you get to
60%.
portray
And
yourself in your bio, in your
yeah,
life story?
I would want to, you know, sit down with them and talk and get to know them and them get to know me. And I tell them my
Yeah.
story and they tell me theirs,
Hmm.
and we connect on that kind of level. So when we get to the filming process, it's just so much easier to connect and bring it to life. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And I've kind of seen that with
yeah,
actors that have done biographies. Like as I mentioned, Chadwick was one of the ones who did James Brown, and then he did Hank
yeah,
Aaron, 42. So when you're doing a bio about someone's life, you got to make sure that you come all the way with it. That if you're going to tell this person's story, I love that Jamar just said that, is because even for me, I don't know who would portray me or even do something, have something similar going on to what I have going on in my life, through the ups and downs, through everything. So I might have to do, I might have to do a casting call too. You never know. So, all right, Fashion Dolls, any questions for Jamari before we conclude this great conversation? Because this was an amazing conversation, great conversation, both interviews back to back. And
definitely.
remember, the theme of today's show was doing things out of fear, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things that you wouldn't
True.
normally do. And I know for a lot of us during this pandemic, we've kind of gotten discouraged
Yeah,
where it's just
yeah,
like, man, I'm not working, I'm not doing anything. But Madam C.J. Walker has a quote that goes like this, and she says that you can't wait for opportunities
hmm
to come to you. You have to get up and make them happen. You have to literally get up and make success happen. And that comes from the first
yeah,
black self-made female millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker. Those were her exact words. She said that. So I'm not going to sit around and wait for opportunity to come to me. I'm going to make that opportunity. Whatever you want to do,
yeah,
if you want to start your own catering business, if you want to start, working from home with baking, if you want to start doing your own skincare, whatever, people have become so creative throughout this entire pandemic. You won't believe how much people are making just working from home and doing what they're doing.
definitely.
You know,
That's definitely
and
true.
that's no tea, no shade to all the essential workers out here that are going out here every day and doing these things. But find something. Don't just sit around on an opportunity. Don't take it for granted. Take that blessing and use. My grandmother told me, always take those blessings that come to you. If somebody's willing to bless you or work with you or even sit down and have a conversation with you to hear whatever you want to work on, you sit down with that person and you talk to them. You take that opportunity. You take that blessing. Shout outs to my brother K2, the K2 spot, and congratulations, brother, on the new gig. I'm so proud of you. K2 has been a big support throughout this whole entire process. You talk about family and having a
Yeah,
strong support circle and system around you, and we both have it. We're both protected and shielded by our support system.
hmm
That's also a very, very big, important factor as well, too. You also said giving back to your community. I had a conversation yesterday with Sean Red, um, and he was saying, I don't care how much likes or money I get as I get in here when I'm doing my music or whatever. It's about humbling yourself. That's where I was going with this. Humble yourself along the way, because just as sure as you gain all of that success, you can lose it. And I came close to almost losing it, and not because, again, like I said, I started off very, very young, and I've done things in my career I'm not proud of in
hmm
my past, and I've had to change a lot. And we actually have to sit back and reevaluate ourselves on things. And trust me, I've had to do a lot of internalizing, sitting and looking in the mirror and evaluating things. We do that. And it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It just means that you're, like Jamari said, when I asked him, what are your thoughts about yourself when we were doing his thoughts? He said accountability. We sometimes have to sit back and hold ourselves accountable for what we do, what we say, career moves, things that we've done. Things we're not so proud of, the things that we are proud of, the things that we choose to cherish and not cherish. So
I would say,
I'm done preaching. That's all I got.
You know,
Mic drop. That's all I got right there.
You can't be 80,
you are so
you can't
welcome.
Be 90,
so
you be 100, and you cannot.
If we don't have any questions for Jamari,
you have to
I'm going to let Jamari take it away. Really let everyone know where they can follow you. And my last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone that is looking to get into the field of acting or to be the next Jamari MT? What advice would you give to young men that are following in your footsteps?
It's very easy to get discouraged in acting because you get told no more than you get told yes. And, you know, you're going to doubt yourself, but you cannot let it take over. And you have to remain humble and positive and knowing that you are worthy of everything that you want. And all you have to do is keep faith, work hard, and put in the work, and it will come. And I always tell everyone that hits me up, that look for help, like, I will help you, but you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to know that you're not going to give up when it get hard. And I don't want to help you if you're not going to be 100% ready. If you're 100% ready, come on and we can get it done. Because it's possible to get done, but you have to want it, though. And you can't let anybody get in your head. You got to really believe in yourself first. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. Yes, the work. The work. That work.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And be willing to do the work as well, too. Be willing to do the work. A lot of people say, oh, well, I want to be an actress. I want to be the next Miss Stevie. I want to be a talk show host.
Twitter, Jamari17.
Got to be willing to do the work. It's not just it's not where you just, okay, we're going to put some flour, milk, and then some eggs. We're not going to mix it. We're just going to sit it there. The cake is not baked. No, that's not baking the cake. You have to go through step by step to get to from point A to point B.
And thank you, everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jamari, let them know if you have any upcoming projects where they can follow you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.